What's up, everybody? Today I'm joined with Erika Federley, and I'm super excited to just connect with her. We've been working together for a few months now, and she basically has a boudoir business, and I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about that, where she's located, how long she's been in business. But welcome, Erika Federley, everybody.
Thank you.
Why don't you give us a little rundown on where you're located, how long you've been in business, that kind of good stuff.
Okay. So I am located, my studio is located in Innisfail, which is about 20 minutes south of Red Deer, Alberta, Canada. I have been doing photography for 5 years, but I've only been in my studio for just under 2 years.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So basically what we did together was we took Erika through one of our programs where we worked together one-on-one. And it was a multi-tier program where first we worked with her to grow her group, her Facebook group. Let me know what that started out as. How many people did you have at first?
We started the group with 6457.
And then what did it end at?
We had about 1,700 added, just over 1,700 added for the contest, and we had about a 50% accept rate. It's pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's insane.
So
all right.
We ended up having like 800 and some actually accept to add into the group, but we've had an absolute ton since then that have all been added in. Yeah.
So all when said and done, it was like 1,709 or something like that.
Yeah. So we ended up having here, I'll calculate it for you. My actual total is we've had 1,800 people actually accepted and add into the group.
Nice. All right. So that was phase one, and we did that through a chatbot. We use a software called ManyChat to be able to run chatbot things. And so all that Erika basically did was put a link into her group, and then the people in her group click on it, and it takes them through the entire process of what they need to do in order to be able to join the group, right?
Yep.
Pretty straightforward. Then phase two was essentially we were going to start running an ad, and we build up this anticipation, and then we launch this ad, and it's a big giveaway. And so specifically, what can you tell us what you were doing for the ad? What were you giving away?
So 3 different prizes for the giveaway, or like the big one, or for the group.
Yeah, for the big away, or the big one.
The big away. That's it is a big away. So different prizes. We had 3rd place prize was a boudoir experience worth $750. 2nd place was worth $1,000, and then 3rd place was worth $1,450.
Nice. Okay. And so there was a lot of work that we had to do in order to launch that, right? It wasn't just like a Facebook post and then we made an ad out of it, right?
So that would be sweet, but no, there was a ton of work, but it was all super worth it.
Cool.
Definitely.
So part of that process is that we had to create landing pages. We had to create thank you pages. We had to create an email sequence. We had to build out your chat bots, right? Quite a few things that we had to do. And then once those leads come in, then you have to get on the phone with those people and close the sales. And so when all was said and done at this point, can you let us know how much you spent on the ad campaign, how many leads you got in total, and then how many bookings you got and what that equates to in revenue for you?
I think we spent about $450 on the ad campaign, which it went really well, even better than I was expecting. So I'm super happy with the turnover that we got from the amount that we spent. We ended up getting like 1,300 new leads or something like that. It was crazy. And we actually only ran the ad for like 7 days instead of 10. So I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy we didn't go more than that, because there was a ton of stuff. My phone was going off constantly. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah. I remember you messaging me, even like during the group grow, and you're like, we already have 250 people. And I'm like, it's only been 45 minutes. She's like, I know. It was awesome.
Yeah, it went really well.
And so how many bookings did you get, and what does that, did you actually get them to pay you money up front? How did that all work?
Yeah, so we ended up with 16 bookings. We booked up pretty much the rest of our year. So we did 50% off of our session fees. So they paid $225 plus tax, obviously. So, just under $250. So for 16 bookings for that. Just from session fees alone, we got almost $4,000 from it. And then we have a $5,000 sales average. So session fee, including sales average for every single client that we booked, we're sitting at just over $80,000 made from this campaign.
I think that's a pretty good return on investment.
I'm pretty happy with it.
$400. If you told me I could spend $400 and make 80 every time, I would do that every week.
So would I.
Right?
Yeah, that's why I said it was so worth it. All the work is definitely worth it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to share my screen with you guys really quick and just show you this is actually the screen on which we ran her ad. So this is in her ads account, and you can see we were running a messaging ad. And so what happened was the ad itself, when people click on the ad, it actually pops up in their messenger and doesn't send them to a landing page or a website or anything like that. And see, so these are her actual statistics. It was costing us right around 44 cents per message. She had 929 message conversations started, reached about 44,000 people. And she spent $412.46 on the overall ad. So then I want to show you one more thing. This is the actual chatbot that it was being sent to. So one thing that I want to point out is that when you email people, less than 24% of those emails are even opened. But when you use a chatbot like this is the software here that you're looking at in ManyChat. If you can see the screen, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here. Here we go. All right, so if you can see this now, this was sent to 1,238 people, and it was opened by 1,238 people. That's 100% open rate. And then based on that, how many of those people actually clicked was 1,191 people. So the open rate and the click rate when you use a chatbot is astronomical. It's just insane. And then so if we go over here, this is the actual chatbot sequence that we took them through. And you can see it all starts with a Facebook ad. And then you can see the different metrics on how many were sent, how many were delivered, opened, and clicked all the way throughout the whole process. But we basically, this whole thing even reminds them. So if they clicked and then they forgot to do what we asked them to do, it'll wait and then it'll message them again. Or sometimes it'll wait till the next day and then, hey, have you filled out the finalist form yet? So it's pretty powerful software, and we run a lot of our campaigns through this. So let me take that off. Just wanted to show you guys that so we're not just making this up. It's real numbers. It really happened. And we do this all the time with our clients. So let's get into the nitty gritty of it. So we had you build a landing page, and we sort of explained to you that was going to make it much more calculated in our approach, because there wasn't going to be all these other buttons like the menu and the About Us and the portfolio that's normally at the top of all of our websites. Yeah. Talk to me about your process of building the landing page. Was that tough? Was it annoying? Did you get through it quickly? All those different things.
Well, the landing page is pretty straightforward. I was using Squarespace right for my website, so it was a little bit tricky to try and get the menu turned off. That was the only part that was about it, but we ended up figuring out there's like a widget that you can write in code. You can just Google it, honestly, and it'll turn off your website menus for you, and it's super simple once you figure it out. So
nice.
Use the widget.
Nice.
Yeah, the landing page itself was super simple but very effective.
Nice. And then, so on a landing page, when we send people to that, after they go through the chatbot, there's a part that says, okay, click here to fill out your application. Once they click that, it opens up your landing page, right? Yep. Then from there, we have a form or a button on there that they click on, and it pops up the form. We ask for their email and their name. Mm-hmm. And then that when they submit that, it actually will forward them to what we call a thank you page.
Yes.
Right. And then on that thank you page, we've positioned some offers. Like if they didn't want to wait for the announcements of the winners, they could just, click and schedule their session and get like $100 off their session fee, something like that.
Yeah.
But all of that happened basically through chatbots, two web pages, and an email sequence, right? Mm-hmm. So let's get into the calls, because this is what people are so excited about. And this is where a lot of people suck. And I know that you're incredible at this, right? So
yeah.
talk me through. So so you have 1,300 people. All right. And then you probably went through their applications, whittled them down to figure out who was going to be best for you. But then when you got on the calls, how did that go? Was it just you doing those calls? What was that process like?
No. Yeah. So picking your people, I'm trying to reach my stack here. This is my stack of applicants. It's gigantic, you guys, and it took forever to go through. But I recommend printing them out like that because it was really great to be able to actually sort them by hand, and we could have more than one person doing it. So I also have a studio manager that was helping me do my calls, and I also have a dream team, which is brand ambassadors, and we had some of them coming in, and I had a script exactly what I would say written up for them, and then I actually ran them through how I do it with my personality in it, so that and they could kind of make it their own a little bit as well. And it definitely helped having a couple other people doing the calls with us, and it also helps from having somebody who's not just me doing it. So they're hearing the experience from someone else instead of me being like, our experience is awesome, you should book me. So it's, I mean, I booked the most people, obviously, but but yeah, it was really helpful to have more than one person calling so we can get through more calls than I would have been able to by myself.
Nice. Yeah, you're not competitive at all.
No, not at all.
So can you talk us through, like, how did a call go? Like, how'd you start it? Like, at what point did you get the sale?
So I am really good at sales. So you kind of have to sell them on the experience first. I do phone consults with all of my people. So any single lead that I get, I'm doing a phone consult with. So I'm fairly familiar with them. And I've kind of gotten it down to a science, but I simplified it for this so that we could get through as many as we possibly could. So you sell them on the experience first. So obviously they would answer and I'd tell them who I was, Erika from EFP Studios, just calling to tell you that you're one of our finalists. And then they'd be like, oh my God, are you serious? And then cry. And then we'd be like, oh my God, I'm so excited for you. It was awesome. And then, then you'd obviously ask them if they have a few minutes to chat, and then you would ask them about why they want the experience. So, you know, they're opening up to you. You're gaining that trust from them, a huge part, especially with boudoir, but with anything, they want to feel like they can trust you. So you get them opening up about why they want to do it, why they want to win this experience, what they want to feel from this experience. So then you can also play off of those words a little bit. So I want to feel beautiful. You can use the word beautiful in your speech to them that you're saying about the experience and everything like that. So after they open up, then I tell them, well, if you still have a few minutes, I'd love to chat with you about what our experience looks like to work with us at EFP. So then I walk them through. I meet with all of my ladies 4 times, and I tell them why that's so amazing. And you essentially have to sell them on why it's so much better to work with you than any other photographer out there. Mm-hmm. So then they're already hooked before you even throw the prices or anything else at them. Normally, I do actually go through my full pricing during my consults, but with this one, I actually kind of sold them before I went through the pricing or anything like that. And I only went through the pricing if I had to. So I would tell them, you know, obviously I wish that we could give every single one of you guys who are finalists a free session, but then we'd be working until we were about 90 for free. I would love to do that, but it's impossible. So just as a finalist only, thank you. We're giving you a book now offer of, or a book now gift of 50% off your session fee. So normally your session fee would be $450, and it's discounted to only $225 if you book today. Now, whether or not you book has no bearing on if you win the giveaway contest. So I wanted to tell them that so that they didn't feel pressured, because if they felt pressured and then didn't win, then you'd have a lot bigger of a cancellation rate. Right. And we've had nobody cancel. So, and they'd be like, okay, cool. So then after that, we would just tell them, but if you do win, then instead of covering a full $450 session fee with your winnings and then the rest going to products, your session fee is discounted, already paid, so your full winnings goes towards products. So they see a bigger value in winning if they've already booked a session than if they're waiting to book.
That's smart. I love that. Very cool. And then so They say yes, and then what happens? Do you take the credit card information over the phone?
Yeah, so I mean, in Canada we have EMT, so it's like an email money transfer. I don't think you guys have that in the States, but it's kind of like Venmo or something like that.
Yeah.
Have that here, but same type of thing. So we would just be like, okay, do you want to email money transfer or do it by credit card? If they say credit card, I take their credit card number right there, I run it through, and it's paid. I would be writing down their email, or we already have their email, sorry, and then I'd be giving it to Macy, my studio manager, and she would immediately send them their info guide that has the full pricing in it and the experience that we've already gone over, everything they need to know about a session, and all the option or all of the info about payment plans. We'd be sending that immediately to them so that they could go over all the payments and all the products and all the pricing, as well as sending them their session contract. So they'd be signing the session contract pretty much immediately after saying yes on the phone.
Nice. I love that. That's such a great concept, because oftentimes when we're on the phone and we're not familiar with being on the phone, we tend to almost start to ramble, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when
silence is your best friend.
Yeah, like you
let them be silent.
Yes, right? Like ask them the question and then don't interrupt them and let them talk to you about why they want this. They're selling themselves when they're doing that.
It's a really hard thing to do, especially, I mean, I'm a people pleaser. So your first instinct is like, oh God, they don't like what I said to them. Oh my gosh, I need to give them something better. Be like, okay, well then if you want to, you can, and just stop yourself. You can't go there because you're shooting yourself in the foot. Wait, they're probably thinking and talking themselves into it. They need to be given permission to do this.
Right.
People sometimes have a hard time spending money on themselves. So give them permission to do it. Be like, yeah, we only have 10 Book Now spots open, and we've already sold 8 of them, or whatever it might be. So then they feel that like push of, I have to do it right now and stuff like that, right? And I mean, it's discounted. They're not going to get that buyer's remorse as much as something else. And some of them asked if they could call us back, and we said yes, as long as it was by the end of the day. And we gave them 6 hours that we were calling. So
very cool. Well, I love that. I think that overall, from the time that we first started working together all the way through to now, even though you probably hate me for going live with me, what would you say about the overall experience?
It was amazing. I had just taken a bit of my summer off to spend a little bit more time with my family and my kids while they were out of school. And I had slowed down a little bit. So to be able to come back like full throttle and book up my whole entire year. I just hired an associate, and I was also able to book up some of her slots through this as well. So to be able to do that after taking some time off I can't even imagine what it would have been if we were already full throttle going into this. So It was amazing, and I'm definitely happy that we connected.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And we have some other stuff that we're doing too. We're still working together, and we're getting ready to do a huge event for your birthday that I won't tell anyone about because we don't know if it's going to work yet. But so far, most of the things we've done have worked out really, really well. And so I'm excited, and I really appreciate you putting your faith in me and being able to work together. I think this has been an incredible experience, and I just thank you for everything that you've done as well, because I know you've been telling people about it, and that's super amazing to me. So thank you for taking the time for the interview.
Yeah, and be on with you.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what else we accomplish in this takeover of Canada.
Me too. Yeah, right. Come on up north. It's pretty awesome up here.
Awesome. Well, guys, if you're interested in working with me one-on-one, you can go ahead and leave a comment on this live video, or you can send me a PM if we're friends. If not, it'll probably go to my other folder. So maybe tag me in this group if you want to. But I do have probably about room for maybe 2 more people. Let me look at my board here. Yeah, I think I can only take on around 2 more people through all the way till October. But if you want to jump on, it's not just boudoir that we work with. We work with any different niche except for headshots. And so either send me a message, comment on here that you're interested, and then I'll send you a PM. All right. Thanks again, Erika, for joining me, and I'll talk to you guys all later.
Thanks, guys.